This one's going to be fun. EchoPark Speedway with the Gen 4 cars. Setup issues aside, recently iRacing has updated the setup in the cars, and now we're going to see what they can do. 110 laps at Atlanta, aka EchoPark Speedway. Josh Gaiman and Aiden Norman are going to start on the front row for what will be Aiden Norman's attempt to win 5 consecutive races off of turn number 4 for 110 laps. We are green. Almost 3 wide across the line. Everybody trying to keep it in one piece. 1 lap complete. Aiden Norman, Josh Gaiman at the front of this race. Bren Roberts, Seth Wansing, and everybody else that cares to follow along and hopefully doesn't get their race car torn up. For what it's worth, Ryan Lindemann runs the fastest lap so far. Tampa's very own with a 31:38. But outright speed might not mean much. Gaiman right now leads. The West Virginian sits just ahead of Bren Roberts. Seth Wansing rolls in third on the inside line. Shout out to all the folks over at Midwest Barbecue as well. Found out that all the good folks there in Kansas City are watching along. 3 wide as they go behind him. Everybody just trying to hold on to her. Oh, there goes Ryan Lindemann. He just went quickest. He's by himself. Colin McDonough will avoid him. Ryan Pinnell. Cody Pinnell will avoid him as well. Here comes Jimmy Kerr and Tommy Withers. And not the good start for Lindemann that he wanted. Let's briefly see if we can find out what happened to Ryan. I'm going to guess it's bump drafting into the corner. Watch this. Oh! No, contact with the 18 of Tom Sears, and Aiden Norman in the 62 Chapel Roan car had something to do with that as well. He's running in 15th, going for 5 straight races. I was wrong, I think, and, well, what a surprise, I was wrong. But last week, and probably the week before when I said nobody has won 5 straight races, that's not true. Noah Belleville, the season 9 champion, won 5 consecutive races in that championship season. Noah is blinking quite a lot in that 41 car, and if it continues, he could get sent to pit lane. And there's Midwest Barbecue in the house. We were just talking about them. Shout out to Midwest Barbecue, cheering on Seth Wansing in that number 5 DuPont Hendrick Cars machine. How about that for a fantasy paint scheme? He's behind Bren Roberts in the 84. Let's go on board with Seth. And they're going to ride around as long as they can. The number 21, Cody Pinnell, in the Coca-Cola C2 Ford, and he's got a matching paint scheme friend out there in Tommy Withers in the double 9. These 3 at the back, starting with Jimmy Kerr. in that awesome Interstate Batteries machine and memorializing his mom as well. Shout out Miss Teresa, shout out Jimmy and the whole Kerr family. Jimmy's been through a lot, and he says that racing helps take some of the pressure away. So he's been a more active part of TNT, and here's hoping that we stick around as well for season 13 and all the seasons to come. So the North Carolinian runs in 18th, with the Virginian behind him in 19th, and rounding out the top 20, I think he still has the fastest lap this race, Ryan Lindemann in the Jumpman 51. At the front single file, and they finally got around it. Seth Wansing in the number 5. He goes up into the wall, smoke billowing out of the number 5 car. So far, no caution. Is it only one car? What happened to Seth? Huge crash at the front. Gaiman still leads. And Seth just went right into the wall, but was it bump drafting that sent him there? No, the 5 car got loose by himself. No contact. He got loose, and he went right into the wall. And by the way, kind of unbelievable that nobody made contact. Nobody. At the risk of missing what happened, I want to have another look because that is just fantastic. Shout out to the captain who just joined us on YouTube as well. Shout out to everybody who's just tuned in. And Grandma Jeannie, she's also in the house. She says, our internet on this farm sucks sometimes. Well, Grandma Jeannie, it might not be you. If we're dropping frames, it could be my fault as well. I know a couple of weeks ago I had some frame rate issues, so please let me know if we're having any sort of frame rate issues. Anybody in the chat who's having issues, shout it out. Let me know what's going on. Back to the racing. A lot has happened in these first 13 laps. Now they go 2 by 2. There goes Chris Fleming. More contact. Briley Wright. The 24 of Richie Catania. The 12, the 57. Chuck Sweeting's involved. Cody Pinnell's involved. Still no yellow. And finally, caution flies at Atlanta. Josh Gaiman still being scored as your race leader. Ryan Pinnell, who normally you'd find in the booth, he said, I'll try the racetrack tonight. And poor Ryan, look what happened to him. All right, lucky number 13 is the lap that the caution comes out. Wow, by now everybody's already jumped. I think it starts with Chris Fleming. Let's go back and see what happened to car 38. It looked like he got turned into turn number 1. We'll see if that's the case. Keep your eyes on the M&M machine. And that time, it was contact. Briley Wright just nudges car 38. Have another look. No, that angle doesn't tell you much, but we did see contact on that earlier angle. Oh, and Elrich George almost skates through that one. Let's go on board with Elrich George. With Jason Alexander. He just skates through easily. How about Jimmy Kerr? Oh, this is under caution. Never mind. He's fine. trying to make it into the pits. It's a frantic scramble. Ryan Pinnell, one of the native drivers, one of the Georgians in tonight's race. He's caught up. Nick Pressey being scored as your race leader. He chose not to come in, and Noah Belleville chose not to come in as well. The Missouri pilot says, I'll stay out. And if you just tuned in, like I said on lap number 13, you missed a lot, and you sure have missed a lot. The first incident of the race would go to Kansas City's Seth Wansing, and the KC Masterpiece goes by himself. Watch this. No contact here. 5 car just gets loose. Everybody avoids him. Everybody avoids him. This time, Chris Fleming gets a piece, and nobody avoids him. Chucky almost makes it through. Elridge George gets a piece of everybody. Briley Wright caught a piece. Let's go on board with Briley. Colin McDonough catches a piece. Noah Belleville does come in, so that leaves Nick Pressey at the front of this race. He'll have control, and he is the only driver who has not come into the pits. So Brooklyn's Nick Pressey will have control of the field. Tommy Withers to his outside. He pitted on lap number 14, but it looks like fuel only for the Virginian. He'll be starting on the outside of row number 1. And let's see what happens this time. Pressey with control of the field. First restart of the race. Let's go racing. Withers missed it. Withers missed it. He held back just before the restart, and there they go. Brent Roberts checks up. Cautions breed cautions. Withers missed the restart, and there we go. Second straight caution. See if we can talk to Tommy Withers real quick, bother this kid, and see just what happened. Tommy Withers, Rick James in the house. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Talk to us about the restart. What happened?
I was just waiting for the 94 to go, and he never went. Ended up going on green. And I just didn't go as well as, I don't know, I guess I could have, but he waited until the very last minute, if not a second after that to go, so I'm going to get penalized. And, like, it looks, I saw in my mirror, it just looks like a reaction behind me. Glad it's behind me, hate that it happened to everybody, but I should have known that Nick would have not gone anywhere but the very last second.
You went no tires last time. What do you think about the tire strategy this time? You took lefts.
I took lefts. I mean, I had to serve my ELL penalty to start the race, and I got way back in the back, so I'm grateful to see that caution. Just decided maybe the air's better up here, so just 2 tires here, same amount of fuel. My lefts were only at 98, my rights were at 98, so I don't think tires, at least on an 11-lap run, is that big of a deal. So just try to stay up front and let the wrecks happen behind me, just hopefully not like that. I guess it looks like Aiden will have to deal with Nick this time.
All right, man. Best of luck. Congratulations on staying out of that one. Have fun.
Thanks, buddy.
Tommy Withers really unhappy with Nick Pressey. Now, as the TNT rules go, the race starts are on the green flag. So the initial start of the race is on the green flag. The restart is on the leader. Nick Pressey did have control. He decided to wait, and I think the timing threw off Tommy Withers. He wasn't happy about the result. Josh Gaiman has control of the field in the number 61 U.S. Army Ford. Aiden Norman sits in second. Tommy Withers is in third. Well, we'll see who decides to come into the pits this time, and hopefully the drivers get each other sorted out. second caution. Let's take a short break. So what about, we'll do 60 seconds here. We'll do a 60-second break. Enough time to grab a snack and a nice cold Coke. All right, stick with us. 60 seconds. We'll be back for more racing. Fingers crossed we stay green. Going green this time by from iRacing's EchoPark Speedway. 110 laps is the scheduled distance. Aiden Norman, your three-time TNT champion in his Chapel Roan 62, has a chance to tie the record for most wins consecutively in Thursday Night Thunder. He's going to go for his 5th straight win. Well, caution on the restart after drivers missed the timing. We're going to see what happens this time. Josh Gaiman has control of the field. Green flag is out at Atlanta. Let's try it again. So far, so good, and so green through the first several corners of racing. Tommy Withers in that third position. The number 99, Coca-Cola Ford, sits ahead of Ryan Lindemann, ahead of Briley Wright, ahead of Seth Wansing. Lindo goes high, opens the door for the 3-car. Briley Wright will scoot on through into that 4th position, and we'll see how important tires are now. Tommy Withers decided not to go for tires. 3 wide already. Briley Wright trying to stay off the wall. Chris Fleming, a Daytona and Talladega winner. In Thursday Night Thunder will now get around Toby Estes, who gets into the outside wall in turn number 2, and the Greensburg pilot relegated outside of the top 14, might even be the top 15. He cuts in front of Colin McDonough with Bahamian Elrich George to his outside. At the front, Josh Gaiman leads the single file parade back to Noah Belleville, who's on the outside of Cody Pennell, and the 24 of Richie Catania in the reflective DuPont Chevrolet scoots to the inside. Single file and snaking down on the bottom. That's the line you have to protect. Tommy Withers wants somebody to go to the outside with him, and the outside move is possible, but the dirty air is a problem. Withers goes right to the outside. He cuts in front of car number 3, hoping that Briley just won't cut in front of him. Let's go on board with that 3-car. 99.35, running third, fourth, fifth. Nick Pressey in that sixth position, and Cody Pennell up 13 places from where he started, one of the native Georgians. I've been to this racetrack with Cody Pennell. Or was it his cousin Ryan? Maybe Cody was there? Anyway, Ryan's at his lonesome back here. But yes, if you haven't been to the new Atlanta Motor Speedway, or EchoPark as it's now called, do yourself a favor, go check it out. For me, even if you get a seat under the covered seats at the top on the front straight, it's fantastic. I love Atlanta. It's a really great seat up there. You can see the whole racetrack. Get the weekend tickets. Go see the Busch race Saturday. Go see the Cup race Sunday. And when we went to go see the Saturday race, I keep calling it Xfinity. What the hell do they call it now? O'Reilly. When I went to go see the O'Reilly race on Saturday, you know, you can go up to the front and you can go have a seat. And my God, I know it's cliche, but those things are so loud and so fast, especially when you sit in the dog leg of turn number 1. The dog leg of the front stretch, I mean. But also that sun, that heat bakes you, man. It's one of the hottest heats in NASCAR in every sense of the word. So the front stretch at Atlanta is not for the faint of heart, which I guess I am. So that's why I like the covered seats up top. Aiden Norman likes the top side too. As I'm rambling about things that don't matter, he's trying to make his way around Josh Gaiman. He's going to try and slingshot, but he has no help. He'll try to side draft off Tommy Withers. They make some contact, but not enough to upset the race cars. Norman still holds his spot on the top side, but with no friends, the 3-time champion. Like a hot towel in the summer sun, left out to dry. Caution's out. Seth Wansing's gone around. It's Wansing again, and Briley Wright's been involved this time too. That'll be the third caution tonight. 30 of our 110 laps now complete. Let's see what happened to the 3 and the 5. Was it contact? Was it netcode? Seth getting into Briley off turn number 2. Both cars getting into the wall. Let's go on board with the 5. Let's try again going on board with the 5. Contact indeed. This will give us a better look. Just enough to turn around car number 3. Car number 5 also involved. Let's get a quick word with Seth Wansing. Seth, Rick James in the house. Don't want to distract you on the way into the pits. Don't speed, but when you can, what was the incident about?
I just got too much of a, I misjudged the run. That's on me. Riley has every reason to be upset. Yeah, everybody's kind of playing follow the leader on the bottom, and I just was trying to keep it locked on the bottom so I didn't have someone come underneath me, and I ended up getting underneath Riley. So that's on me, and yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than that. I mean, that was silly mistake and shouldn't happen, and I'm better than that, and we'll fix it in the future. Now I know what the closing rate is, but I just I was trying to stay tucked up tight to him, maybe try to build some sort of run and do something. I mean, I don't want to sit on the bottom, but I guess I should have. So
we'll talk to Briley. We'll get his opinion here in a minute, buddy. Keep it in one piece. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Rick. Hope
I cut him off prematurely. Sorry, Seth. Shout out to the folks at Midwest Barbecue as well, and the Wansing family out there. I know they're doing really, really cool things. with their smokers down there. So if you're in the Kansas City area, go pay them a visit and see the kind of equipment that Midwest Barbecue is working with. They are unbelievable. Let's see if we can get a word with one of the Greensburg natives himself and one of the Bluegrass Bandits, Bradley Wright, who was on the receiving end of that. Bradley, you want to talk to us about what happened?
Yeah, I don't know. These things are just terrible to drive here. We're constantly checking up. It makes the race absolutely miserable. So, what are you gonna do?
I don't know. That's a great question. What are you going to do? Luckily, it is a super speedway race. You got time to catch back up. Knowing what the cars are capable of now, how's the best way to get around somebody? Because really, it seems like you need a lot of help on the outside.
You can't do nothing on the outside. You just got to park it on the bottom and hope whoever's in front of you watches up. That's about the only way you can pass anyone.
All right, we'll let you get back to work. Best of luck. A lot of frustration out here. Cars are extremely difficult to pass at these racetracks. Now, it used to be that the car was even worse, apparently. And how about this? Jason Alexander's on the front row. For anybody that cares, I'm going to ramble about what the cars used to drive like in a minute, but I want to talk to this guy right here. Salem, South Carolina's Jason Alexander. Jaco, what's the plan, man? How are you going to defend the lead?
I don't know yet.
One step at a time.
Yeah, might be a big wreck. Who knows?
I love it, buddy. All right, focus up. Pull the belts tight. Everybody's cheering for you. I don't give a damn who they are. They're cheering for you. Good luck, man. Have fun.
Thank you.
Anybody that knows Jason Alexander knows that he doesn't make it out here often. So we'll see what he can come up with. He's got control of the field. Josh Gaiman's to his outside, and Aiden Norman runs on the outside of row number 2. Cousin Cody Pennell on the inside of row 2. Alexander with control of the field. Let's see what Jaco's got, huh? Green flag is out. Let's go racing. Gaiman didn't go. They're all backing up behind him. Is it going to be a repeat of the last time someone missed the restart? Everybody just trying not to collapse on the front straight. Cars just wiggling everywhere, trying to gain some sort of control and stay off each other into turn number 1. Seth Wansing in that number 5. By himself trying to stay out of this mess. Tommy Withers on the outside there in the number 99, still up 11 places from where he started. Jason Alexander still in control of his race car. Richie Catania washes up, and now Aiden Norman on the outside of car 62. 3 wide behind them. Noah Belleville's in the middle with a huge blink, and he struggles to keep the car even in view. But he's still mixing it up in the top 10. Wansing to his inside. How about the 51 of Ryan Lindeman? He's coming back to fight for that top 10, and Tom Sears behind him. Let's catch a ride with the 18 of Sears. Peacefully minding his business at the back, and at the front, Josh Gaiman just trying to hold on to the lead while Owen's trying to wonder what's going on with Noah Belleville's Wi-Fi, and that would explain the blinking out of car 41. Seth Wansing's to the inside of the blinking target car, and no more blinking for now. So far, so good. Gaiman leads the outside line. Alexander leads the inside line. Cody Pennell in the 2-1. Patiently waiting his turn. And shout out to the folks at Infraction Music. They provide the music that we play for the beginning of every Rick James race that we can. And they provide this free, by the way. All on Spotify. Royalty-free music. So if you're a streamer as well, check them out also. Ryan Lindemann getting squirrely at the back. And the Tampa driver. Just trying to hold it together. The points coming into this race. Josh Gaiman. Nowhere near the top. It's all about Noah Belleville. The 41 car. And they're crashing again behind them. We keep it green. There goes the 41. He's gone around again. He is the points leader coming into this race. Caution flies at Atlanta, and Noah Belleville with that intermittent internet connection. In trouble. Caution's out. Let's see what happened. The 38 was involved. The 41 was involved. You see Noah Belleville out there blinking on the high side. Again, this is the points leader coming into this race. He goes 3 wide here. Is this the lap prior? Well, at this point, I don't think the 41 was involved. I think he got caught up in Chris Fleming's mess. Let's run this back. It was Fleming. It was Roberts. Oh, these two get together. But was that net code? It looked to be some daylight between them. Belleville just happened to get caught up in their mistake, and it may not have even been their mistake. Another look at Chris Fleming. Well, that looks close enough to be contact. How about Seth Wanting and Tommy Withers going 4 wide and avoiding the riffraff? But those two make contact. Caution comes out again. And these cars become another pain to drive. 4th caution's out. And I'm curious to hear from Chris Fleming what happened there. Let's bother him one time and see what happened as he's coming into his stall. We'll wait for him to come into his stall. Chris Fleming, Rick James in the house. Didn't want to bother you there while you're coming into the stall, but can you explain what happened between you and Bren in turn 1?
These things, we're having random issues with these things. When you get a little close to somebody, they just get very aero tight, almost like they don't want to turn. I'm going into the corner. I got kind of sort of close to Bren, and it just stuck me into him, and there was no coming out of it. I lifted as much as I could. I tried to keep him straight, apologized to him, over the radio a couple of times, but yeah, get arrow tight depending on how close you get to somebody. So that one's 100% on me, but she just wouldn't turn left.
All right, buddy, keep it in one piece. We'll talk to you later. Let's see if we can get a word from Mr. Bren Roberts himself while he's up there. Mr. Bren, Rick James in the house. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
What happened, man?
I'm sure a couple drivers have explained it when they got pulled up, but just when you get stuck behind these cars way back in the pack, it just gets real tight. And if you're real not careful, you can kind of just wash up in the second lane. I think that's what happened to Chris right there, so I don't blame him. It's just, tight out here. These cars are hard to drive, and, it's a blast, though. I'm having a lot of fun.
Good, buddy. All right, man. What's the secret to get up there, though?
I think you have to stay consistent and hold your line, especially if you're in the second lane. You can't be drifting up into the third lane. And make sure somebody doesn't really get to your left rear because it's getting a lot of guys loose when the car behind him's right tucked up behind him.
You got your eye on this basketball tournament? What's going on?
Yeah, has the Sweet 16 started yet? I don't know.
Yeah, so Texas actually is down to Purdue by only 3 points. There's a $133 to go in that game. And then Iowa and Nebraska are tied at 65 with about 2 3/4 minutes left in that game. So truth be told, I actually might just open up a little window with that game on there and see what happens. I don't know. Anyway, man, we're going to let you get back to work here. We're not going to distract you while we go green. Hopefully, we can go green for a while from here. Have fun.
Thank you.
As a matter of fact, while they go green here, I just might tune to those games and see what's going on, hoping they don't crash. If I don't watch them, they're not going to crash, right? Just made that up. If you got an interest in what's happening in this basketball tournament, shout it out. Put it in the chat. Madhouse in the chat saying the 62 looks like the Rainbow Warrior, but prettier. Yeah, that'll be Aiden. Big fan of Chapel Roan, apparently, in his hot-to-go paint scheme. He made it himself, can you tell? Josh Gaiman from Snowshoe, West Virginia, has control of the field once again. Jason Alexander to his outside. Green flag will fly. Gaiman's gone, and we're racing again. Two by two, 5 rows deep as they come out of turn number 4. Chuck Sweeting, the last car on the outside, and the Hawthorne Floridian. Watching the 3 wide ahead of him, it's Lindemann, it's Estes, it's Briley Wright just ahead. I'm just trying to avoid contact, trying to stay off of each other, for goodness sake. If you just tuned in, it's been a few cautions, more than we'd like, but the Gen 4 car, such a handful to drive, and the drivers are making the best of it. At the front, it's Aiden Norman on the outside of Jason Alexander. Norman going for his 5th consecutive win. It would tie the record in what was just supposed to be a part-time season, but what's slowly becoming a chance to win his 4th championship in Thursday Night Thunder. Trying to keep one eye on these basketball games as well that are getting close here, so we'll talk about that. It's still 73-72 Purdue as far as I can see, but I'm also looking at the ESPN app and I haven't turned a single game on yet, so we'll try that next. Lindemann going to the outside, struggling to keep that car pointed in one direction. Toby Estes behind him, and Lindemann leads the outside line. He keeps it pointed forward, keeps it off the wall, which I'm giving in some... You know, I'm saying he's having a hard time keeping it together, but truth be told, that's actually not true because he spun this car earlier in this race. He's up 11 places from where he started, so my bad. Ryan Lindemann's doing way better than what I let on. He's up there, and keeping the car up there is so difficult because you have the pressure of the guy behind you who you know can turn you if you check up. There goes Lindemann. He just got squirrely up into that top lane. Now goes into that 3rd lane. Toby Estes beneath him. Lindo's in the wall. He's got to keep it off the wall. Jimmy Kerr avoids Ryan Lindemann, and Elridge George goes to the inside of the Jumpman Ford. And like a gentleman, the Tampa Floridian keeps it off the wall as to not get anybody else swept up in his mess. And he's going to struggle to catch that draft. He's going to need a caution to catch back up, which, given the circumstances, is mighty likely. Aiden Norman leads. Nick Pressy's behind him. And they're wrecking again behind them. Turn number 1 has been such a trouble spot for these drivers. Briley Wright involved again. Let's see what happened to the Bluegrass Bandit this time. Oh, he goes for the gap that exists. Right to the inside of Josh Gaiman. Gaiman gets turned, collects Briley, collects Richie. Have another look. You make the call. Did Gaiman make a late block? Gaiman in the 61 looks like he turns to the left just as Briley Wright fills the hole. One more look. See if we can go on board with Josh Gaiman. Oh, and he's already crashed at this point. Let's try again with Josh Gaiman. Gaiman himself in the chat just said it right there. There was never room. And a torn up Briley Wright tries to drive it into the pits. This is the move right here that Josh Gaiman says Briley Wright put him in the funnel of stupidity. Gaiman goes down on the 3. And they go around. So you make the call. Seth Wansing decides to stay out. He's now going to be first. And in this caution-riddled race, moves like this could be deciders. Seth Wansing, Rick James in the house. Can you hear me?
Oh, I got you, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, man? There's a lot of crashes happening right now. Apparently this car is a huge pain to drive.
Yeah, I didn't bring enough bush light upstairs for this, but somehow we got the number 5 Chevrolet back to the front. It's nice to be back in the 5 and definitely on a decent strategy here, and being up front is king right now. So don't know how we ended up here, but we're here, so we'll take it. But yes, this car, especially if you're like 3rd or 4th in line, it is quite weird. Quite weird to drive. I wouldn't say it's hard to drive. I mean, it's hard to drive, but it's weird. The aero is doing something fierce. So it's been a fun challenge, and hopefully just keep this thing out front. Gonna try to be aggressive and try to keep track position.
You got the 3-time champion behind you in Aiden Norman, and that 3-time champion sits ahead of the 2-time champion, Tom Sears. You have 5 Thursday Night Thunder championships running 2nd and 3rd, and then Chris Fleming, who's won, I think, 2 out of the last 3 TNT drafting races, if my memory serves correct, which it probably doesn't. But you got a lot of talent sitting behind you. So we're going 1 to green. Hold on to it. You got a lot of folks in southern Kansas City pulling for you, man. Have fun.
Yeah, shout out Dad and everybody watching at home, and thank you, Rick, for broadcasting. And everybody buckle up, grab you a cold beer or a cold soda, whatever floats your boat, or water and a snack. And
God, that boy talks a lot. I love him to bits. Elridge George at the back, just trying to get his car together. And maybe just trying to figure something out. We're going to let him figure that out. He's still on the bottom before we go green. Is he going to be able to pull this thing down? Right now, he's out of the way. As long as he's out of the way, he's going to make it eventually. But I just don't know what the issue at hand might be. He'll be fine. We're going to restart, but the show's going to go on. All right, Seth Wansing in control. Aiden Norman to his outside. And that Casey masterpiece in the number 5 car has his foot on the loud pedal. We're racing again at Atlanta. Wansing out front with the 3-time champion behind him. And from Southampton, Massachusetts, Tom Sears with 2 championships sitting in third. Now he's got Chris Fleming behind him. Toby Estes following Nick Pressing, who's in fourth. Jason Alexander currently running in that seventh position. Fleming up to third. Sears to fourth. Pressey in fifth. 2x2 for the lead at Atlanta. And Aiden Norman just beats Seth Wansing across the line, or did he? It looked like Wansing might have had him by 2/100ths. It's that close. We just passed the halfway mark. And for those that care, Iowa beat Nebraska 77-71. They were tied at 65 with a minute and a half to go. Texas is up on Purdue with 11 seconds remaining. I'll try and pull that game up here so we can at least keep up to tabs with what's happening there. But there's still a lot of action happening here too. Everybody trying to stay off each other. 2 and 3 wide racing. And drivers just trying not to bring out the next caution. But apparently it's so hard to pass. These drivers are having a really tough time keeping the car off of each other when they get close. They've got to give each other such a huge breath of space. It's almost like they need to give each other half a lane. Out of that fourth corner, Fleming wants to make it 3 wide. He decides otherwise. Aiden Norman to the front. The 3-time champion going for 5 straight wins has Tom Sears behind him in the number 18 car. And the game is tied at 77 between Texas and Purdue. 11.9 seconds to go. We'll keep an eye on that. Illinois, Houston at 10:05. Seth Wansing to the inside of Aiden Norman. Aiden Norman that time leading the lap, maybe practicing for a last lap move. 59 laps underway. So far, so good. Cody Pennell, the only retirement of tonight's race so far. Elridge George a couple of laps down. Josh Gaiman a couple of laps down. But both of them fighting for the lucky dog with 17 cars on the lead lap. Norman leading Wansing. Tom Sears on the outside. And you're just hoping that they can hold on for the rest of another green flag run. Tommy Withers in the 999, up 9 places from where he started. Let's catch a ride with him. And for those watching that Purdue-Texas game, how about that finish? Purdue winning with what is essentially just a buzzer beater tip, leaving 0.7 seconds on the clock. Purdue moves on. Midwest Barbecue asking about the Drip Diecast track facts. How many before pits without a yellow? Talking about how far will they go on fuel. It is estimated they're going to go about 30 laps on 1 tank of fuel. Drivers pitting last on lap 51. It's now 63. So expect them to go about another 17, 18 laps. But that is expected, and it's also estimated. So we'll see what happens. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'm probably wrong now. Right now, drivers just trying to ride around, trying to stay off of each other. Nick Pressey leads that inside line with Seth Wansing behind him. Let's go on board with the Brooklyn Pilot. Tom Sears getting loose and getting shuffled out of order. And the two-time champ gets scooted to the back with Ryan Pinnell to his inside. Another one of our Georgian drivers carrying the flag for the folks in Georgia. Toby Estes in the 8 car's got Noah Belleville behind him. And Moldy's daddy in the chat. Literally the tag says Moldy's daddy. Says, we move the internet closer for Noah. So how about that? I think they just moved the Wi-Fi router a little bit closer to where Noah's in the sim, so he'll stop blinking so much, and I think it's worked. Aiden Norman getting hung up on the outside behind Nick Pressey, and you've got to make a business decision now. Seth Wansing and Chris Fleming breaking out to a 2-car tandem, but not without Jason Alexander trying to reel them in. Illinois and Houston, Arkansas, and Arizona. Starting in about half an hour, and if we're still racing, we'll cover the beginning of that one too, the scores at least. Pressey still trying to go somewhere on the outside with Aiden Norman behind him, and Noah Belleville still trying to push that line, but they just can't get anywhere. Belleville shoots to the inside. He's going to follow Aiden Norman behind Tom Sears. Pressey out to dry. Toby Estes in the number 8 car. He scoots back to the inside line trying to follow Ryan Lindemann. Toby on the outside of Ryan Lindemann. A little bit of a blink from Noah Belleville. Well, and a big one now from Noah Belleville. There he is, now back in place behind Tom Sears. Lindo to the inside of that number 8 Budweiser Chevrolet with the Chapel Roan 62 urging the Jordan Monte Carlo forward. And Toby trying to pull the outside line with him, and does. He takes Tom Sears to the inside line. Noah Belleville can't get any help with Brent Roberts that far behind him. Estes up to 5th. He brings Sears in 6th. Seth Wansing doing a little bob and weave at the front, trying to stay ahead of Chris Fleming. It goes 5:38, 5-3, running 1, 2, 3. In the final 40 laps now, Seth Wansing still leads Chris Fleming, their single file. Tommy Withers decides, I might have a look to the outside. But he thinks, well, maybe not. Brent Roberts now behind Noah Belleville. And the Best Buy Chevy behind the Target Monte Carlo, crossing that start-finish line. 73 of 110 laps underway. Midwest Barbecue asking about the pit window. Again, it's estimated to be about 30 laps. And we're getting to it. Lap 81 would be about 30 laps from when they pitted. Seth hasn't pitted since lap 41. So if 30 laps is the window, Seth has to pit on fuel. He's racing on borrowed time, but he's had the benefit of a couple of cautions. I missed the backside of your question, Midwest Barbecue. The fall off at Atlanta. That I have no idea. Genuinely have no idea about the tire fall off. Given that it's a super speedway race, it's not going to be as dramatic as it would be, obviously at Bristol, at Martinsville. Tires don't mean that much. However, with Seth last pitting on lap 41. 10 laps of wear could be the difference in where Chris Fleming can make a move to the inside of car number 5. Of course, the time is ticking on fuel, if my fuel estimates are correct. And once again, it's me. They're probably not. Still out front, no one dares to make that move. Chris Fleming in second, but now drivers have come to help. Tommy Withers on the inside of Noah Belleville, who has a blink, and Toby Estes behind him, careful to keep his distance. Jason Alexander sitting in the 8th position as Aiden Norman has lost this pack. He's got Ryan Pennell behind him, Chuck Sweeting in that black 57 third in line, and Nick Pressey in the orange number 94, back to the inside as well. Aiden Norman is 1.5 seconds behind Jason Alexander. There goes Colin McDonough, the Trenton driver. He finds himself 1 lap down, so if the caution comes out, he'll get that lucky dog. And that could be enough for Aiden Norman to get a draft. If they can get a 5th car in this line, he still may catch up to Alexander. Although the gap now is 1.6 seconds. Noah Belleville has help at the front, and it comes in the form of Toby Estes. With a shake out of turn number 4 and the Mountain Dew 53 behind him, they're trying to make the outside line work. Almost contact with Tom Sears into turn number 1. 99 and the 84 to the inside. 18 stays to the middle. He dips in front of Bren Roberts. Jason Alexander holds his line on the outside, and normal service resumes. 31 laps to go, this time by. At the front, Noah Belleville trying to get his 2nd Thursday Night Thunder championship. Here are the points coming into this race. We're going to have a hard time calculating the points afterwards due to a minor glitch in how things got set up. We had to do some setup changes. Justin in the chat says there's a lot more drivers at the ovals compared to the road courses. Yeah, that's 100% true. Way true. Me personally, I love a road course. I love an oval as well. Really, it just depends. Every track's a little bit different, but that is the trend. A lot of guys don't like to turn right in TNT, and that's okay. Great collection of paint schemes tonight, though. Some fictitious, some real-life counterparts. Chris Fleming trying to keep that 38 in one piece on the inside. He really shakes up the running order, and everybody tries to skate away from him. Fleming in the 38, Sears in the 18, Noah Belleville out front in the 41, and how about Toby Estes in the Dale Jr. Talladega win, number 8 car. All of these paint schemes, pretty important to NASCAR history. You can get one of these for yourself, by the way. Check out Drip Diecasts. If you haven't heard about them, you will now. They are your #1 store for NASCAR memorabilia. Drip Diecast, check them out on eBay. They do live auctions on whatnot. They are your #1 store for NASCAR diecast and more. If you want one of these paint schemes you see on this track, check them out at Drip Diecast, your #1 store for NASCAR memorabilia and more. At the front, with the pride of DeSoto, Missouri behind him, Noah Belleville sits ahead of Toby Estes, racing from Greensburg, Kentucky. Big blink out of car 41. And from the great state of Virginia, Tommy Withers holds the bronze medal position. Kansas City's Seth Wansing, who led a great portion of this race, runs in 4th. From Bren Roberts, 6th place onward, it is 2x2 for a couple of rows, with Aiden Norman trying to catch back up to the front. 24 laps to go this time by, and again, these are the points coming into this race. Aiden finds himself 8th in the points coming into this race. Aaron Edwards, who runs in 2nd, not in tonight's roster. Ethan Winters in 5th, not in tonight's roster. There's a big shuffle here, and Aiden still says, hey, it's not mathematically possible to win that 4th championship. I say otherwise. Aiden's got a shot. Now, of course, this is a dice roll of a racetrack. Like a lot of other venues, and contact like that can really ruin somebody's race. Seth Wansing goes into the pits. He's had enough. He can run no longer. He pitted on lap 41. It's now lap 85. Caution's out. What happened? Ryan Pennell's been involved. The 99 of Tommy Withers is slow, so that contact really upset him going into turn number 1. Caution is out just as Seth Wansing comes in. Where is that going to strand car number 5? He might just lose a lap. Let's see what happened to Ryan. This is on lap, 87. Withers gets loose by himself. The 12 gets collected. Jason Alexander scoots through all of that, so unbothered. Have another look at Tommy Withers. Justin says the 99 got loose from the 62. Let's have another look here from the sky. Or, well, right here, this will do. Yeah, just in the middle, really drives the car in there. Nowhere for him to go. Seth Wansing scored in the 15th position. The first car 1 lap down. He came in just as the caution flew, though he's going to get that lap back by passing everybody here in the pits. Noah Belleville will lead the parade down pit road. And we will complete 88 laps of competition at iRacing's EchoPark Speedway. If you just tuned in, I normally say you haven't missed a thing, but no, you've missed a lot. Noah Belleville goes too far forward into his stall. Now the right side goes up. That's going to cost him the lead eventually. Someone's going to beat him out of the pits. We just have to see who it's going to be. Tom Sears is down and away. Who's going to get it? Will it be Belleville? Is it going to cost him that lead? Not at all. How about that? He scoots forward into the pits. He has to go back a little bit because he went too far forward, and he still makes it out. How about that kind of racecraft? Belleville is going to restart in first. But is his internet connection going to hold up? I genuinely, at the risk of not making his internet crash, I want to have a brief word. Noah Belleville, Rick James in the house. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, buddy. Is the internet going to hold out for the rest of the race?
I hope so. I think it was because of my graphics card. So under one of those pit stops, I turned all my graphics off, so I can't see anything. But yeah.
You can see the racetrack, can't you?
Yeah, we can see the racetrack. That's about it.
That's all that matters, man. If you can go fast and turn left, you've got this in the bag. Don't worry about it. All right, man.
Yeah.
we're gonna let you get back to work. It's a zoo out there. It's crazy. You guys are doing a fantastic job at not
Yeah.
crashing. I know that sounds crazy, but after the first 3 cautions, things really settled down. Keep up that same energy. Good luck on the restart.
Yeah. Thank you.
Grandma Jeannie in the house cheering on Noah Belleville, and actually a couple of members of Moldy's family cheering him on. Bren's on the outside in car 84. Chris Fleming on the inside in car 38. Briefest of words with Chris Fleming. Actually, we've already talked to Chris Fleming, I think. If we haven't, sorry, Chris. Let's talk to Tom Sears real quick. Tom Sears, Rick James in the house. Great shot to get into the lead, man. Briefly tell me what it's going to take.
Just gonna have to hold a steady wheel. These things are getting really loose in the turn, snapping right. A lot of guys have had some issues with that, so just gonna have to stay on top of it.
All right, buddy. Send my love to the family. Have fun.
Thanks, man.
I've been to this race with Tom Sears as well. He was actually there. Been to this track with a few guys in this group. Love this group. Sometimes they make mistakes. That's okay. You put on a good show. We love our Thursdays. What, 90 laps will be complete, so that leaves us with what, 20 laps to go? Is that all? 20 more laps to decide the 8th round of competition. Noah Belleville has the control this time. It's all up to him in the 41 target machine. With a blink, the green flag flies, the 41 car is off, and we're racing again. And everybody's in one piece after that restart. Noah Belleville ahead of Chris Fleming. Cody Pinnell's in the chat as well. Never mind being our first DNF. Good to see him still hanging around, cheering these drivers on. Single file out of turn number 2. Everybody trying not to crash. And hopefully everybody stays in one piece. Shout out to Sarah at home. 18 laps to go. So what's the move, Chris? He sits in second. Bren Roberts in third. And the 2-time champion Tom Sears in fourth. 3 championships behind him in fifth. Add that to Noah Belleville's 1 lone championship from season 9. There are 6 Thursday Night Thunder championships amongst the top 5. And that man there going for his 5th consecutive win to tie this man here, Noah Belleville, who in that 9th campaign of Thursday Night Thunder clinched that record with 5 straight wins. And I just realized I'm out of Diet Coke. What a tragedy. 10 drivers went green last time around. They each put in their fastest lap of the race. 16 to go this time by, and drivers starting to break apart here. Seth Wansing now trying to follow one of the Bluegrass Bandits, whether it's Toby Estes or Briley Wright. Gosh, they get so close. This is how they crashed last time. Still keeping it together out of turn number 2 and trying to pick the right lane to go with. From Seth Wansing back to Tommy Withers, it's 2.9 seconds. He's got Ryan Lindemann behind him. Colin McDonough running by his lonesome in the number 39. 1-5, 15 laps to go. What do you got? Put it in the chat. And put your basketball team in the chat as well. If you're watching the tournament tonight after it just came back, let me know. Bren Roberts has won in Thursday Night Thunder before. I think it was season 9 or season 10 at Charlotte. He ended up getting a win. Wouldn't be a bad time for Bren to score another victory, but how is he going to do it? Noah Belleville, who I think is still the most winningest driver in Thursday Night Thunder history, continues to blink but has that lead. He's got Chris Fleming behind him, who has won, I think, again, 2 of the last 3 drafting races in Thursday Night Thunder. Lap traffic on the horizon, the Bahamian, Elrich George. Shout out to the boss, who kindly gets out of the way. Let's go on board with Toby Estes. Does Fleming dare put the bumper under Belleville? 1-0 to go this time by, then it's 9 at the line. Chris gets right up to car 41. Does he try to move him? Does he get support from Bren Roberts in car 84? Justin's in the chat and he says, I got money on Bren Roberts. Oh, Noah Belleville tries to, not Noah Belleville, Aiden Norman, I'm sorry. He tries to slingshot to the outside. He's going to take Tom Sears with him, and the 5 championship train scoots to that top lane, and they're going to try and chug their way forward, just side drafting off of Chris Fleming. Aiden Norman continues to move forward. Does he side draft him again? Does he have enough room? Noah Belleville to the top side. He wants to take Norman with him. Now he snakes back down to the inside. Norman has no more drafting partners to pull him out front. 94 goes to the top side. 3 cars up high, 5 cars down low. Ryan Pennell's got to make a decision. Will he follow Nick Pressey and even the odds? Pressey goes to the inside. Top side, down to 2 cars again. Noah Belleville with Chris Fleming behind him. Bren Roberts checks up. Is he trying to get a run? 8 laps to go. Nowhere for Norman to go. Bren Roberts is going to pull Chuck Sweeting along, who's normally in the rainbow-colored car, but he's got an all-black machine today. And that hot rod just gets cut off by Bren Roberts. Aiden Norman again just trying to draft his way up. Roberts goes top side. Does Chuck Sweeting fill the gap? No, the gap's not open long enough. Tom Sears also goes to the inside, and there's nowhere for Aiden Norman to go. He might get shuffled all the way to the back. 6 laps to go. Does Noah Belleville feel comfortable with Chris Fleming that close behind him? Five more laps. When they cross that line, we have 3 green, white, checkered attempts if we need them. Aiden Norman behind Ryan Pennell trying to do something, trying to get some motion going to the outside, but there's just no one to draft with. And this has been a big complaint amongst the drivers, is that there's just no ability to draft when you use this car. Rumors have been circulating that for the Talladega race, we may go to the next Gen 4 car. Well, I say the next Gen 4 car. That's not the right way to say that. To the previous Gen 4 car, actually. the Legacy Gen 4 car template just for the Talladega race because it's so difficult to pass. So you may see a different looking car entirely when we go to Talladega. That's not going to be until May 14th. Next week, TNT Round 9 from Michigan International, and we get to play with the GT3 cars one more time. The Bandit GT3 final from Barber Motorsports Park, and it's this kid right here in the number 62 Chapel Roan machine. He leads the points headed into the final round, and he is the favorite to clinch that title. One more time before we're out, shout out to the folks at Drip Diecast and Collectibles. They are your #1 store for NASCAR memorabilia. You can get most of these awesome paint schemes that you see from Drip Diecast. Check them out on eBay. Drip Diecast, your #1 NASCAR diecast store. Aiden Norman is in 8th. Nick Pressey goes to the top side, and everybody will just pile to the inside. Bren Roberts tries to go high. Nobody can get up. Nobody can help. Nobody can push. 84 will try to force it. He's going to drag somebody up there with him. Chris Fleming sits in that second position with the 84 of Bren Roberts in 3rd. Chuck Sweeting in 4th. Tom Sears now on the outside. He runs in 5th. And finally, we've got 2 lanes. Fleming slingshots to the outside of Noah Belleville. Bren Roberts can't also go with him. Noah Belleville tries to go up to the 64. White flag this time by. What a move by Chris Fleming. The timing is impeccable. Looking to win another drafting race in TNT. He's got what it takes. But can he hold on? Roberts says no. Drafting from the 41. Bump drafting, that is, to car 38. Trying to urge him forward. Colin McDonough just ahead of him. Will he get out of the way? Who's he going to pull with him? Brent Roberts in the 84 has the 38 of Chris Fleming behind him. One more run from car 38 to Brent Roberts. Crossing the line at Atlanta. Will they drag race for the win? No. Brent Roberts wins. Chris Fleming in 2nd. Tom Sears 3rd. Noah Belleville 4th. Aiden Norman in 5th. Brent Roberts, uncontested across the line by himself. He's going to grab that win, the Hagerstown, Maryland native. I think gets his 2nd Thursday Night Thunder win, and how about that for the upset? And how about that for a finish to this race? The first half of this race, if you will. Maybe the first third. Chaotic. A lot of cautions. Drivers settled down. And now look at him. And Brent's going to burn it down. Let's catch that white flag one more time. And actually, even before the white flag, Chris Fleming in the 38 car. What a move. What a move by Chris. Timed it perfectly. And this is coming to the white flag. Bren Roberts on the outside of Noah Belleville. Talk about a great slingshot here. He's got great momentum. Fantastic momentum out of the corner, and you can see Noah Belleville tries to push Chris Fleming a little bit out of turn number 2. That may have stifled any momentum car 38 had coming out of 2. And across the line, it was always going to be Brent Roberts. The fight for 2nd was much closer. How about the fight for 3rd as well? Tom Sears beating Noah Belleville to the podium by 3/100ths of a second. And there's Bren. He's going to bask in the sun and enjoy that win. We're going to let Bren, Chris, and Tom into the booth. We'll capture our top three's thoughts in just a moment. on the podium with our top 3 after a thrilling finish, as we love our draft tracks, right? Fantastic. Let's start with our bronze medalist, Tom Sears. Lurkin Tom, for those that know, in the pride of Southampton, Massachusetts, the 2-time champion scores a podium. How about that, Tom Sears?
That was pretty hectic race. I knew I had a fast car. I just had to have good positioning at the end. So really nice to get a top 5 here. I had some issues early in the race. I think we all did, but good driving there by Brad and Chris to make their move and get up to the front. And great win there by Brad.
Let's talk to our silver medalist, Chris Fleming. Buddy, you have won a fantastic number of plate races, and when you made that pass in turn number 3, admittedly, I thought that was the pass to win this race. I don't think you did anything wrong. I think you made the right pass at the right time.
I think I did it a little bit too early. I knew Bren wanted to go. He kept peeking his nose to the outside, and I didn't want to do it with too little elapsed, just because I had a feeling we were going to get freight trained. And I had a good run on Moldy, and I did it coming out of 2. I think if I would have did it coming out of 4, we would have been having a different story. So I think I set Bren up perfect for that win, but I'm just happy after everything in the beginning of the race. Like Tom said, we all got involved in some stuff. I had no fast repairs. I had 1 set of tires. I was about out of everything, so I'm glad that one went to the end, and good win to Bren. That was a fun race at the end.
That's a lot of fun. Let's talk to the guy that won it. Brent, unofficially headed into next week's race at Michigan. You're going to carry 1 win and 190 points into the 13th position in the standings. Do you think you were going to win this race when you came in here tonight?
Well, I know everybody has a shot when you come to one of these plate races. I know, with this car, typically it's become more of a strategic battle than what it has been in the past. I knew, however, at race tonight, I would have a shot, and it was pretty racy, so everybody had a shot.
It was a good time out there. Now you got to go for 2 wins in a row next week at Michigan.
Yeah, I love Michigan. I should be there, hopefully, if my schedule frees up. I'd love to run it back and be in victory lane again and come out here and compete with a lot of clean drivers, a lot of good drivers, just like tonight, and, run it back.
How about that Bandit GT3 final? Monday night at Barber. You got to go there as well.
I will have to buy the track, but after my performance at Canada getting back to the pits, I think I need to redeem myself a little bit. So I plan on being there.
Good, man. Good. I'm excited to see you there. All right, let's put this one to bed here. Let's unofficially go over these points, as they are unofficial until we fill in spots for drop points and what have you, for those that know. Noah Belleville is going to lead Briley Wright into Michigan. Belleville's got 315 points to Briley's 289. Noah Belleville has 315 points to Aiden Norman's 268. I can't math, but what is that? 315 to 268. I have no idea, guys. What is that? 30, 40? He's 47 points away from the title, so still quite a gap. Chuck Sweeting's in 3rd. How about Chuck Sweeting? 287 points. He's 2 behind Briley. That's going to be a fun battle there. So Noah Belleville's got a good gap, but he needs to protect it, and 4th place runs is how he's going to do it. Let's put this one to bed. So until that next race, folks, come out with us Monday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be most likely the last GT3 race we do for a very, very long while. So definitely come out, have some fun with us there at Barber. And then next Thursday, this stretch keeps going. Actually, I think next Thursday is the final week of our 7-week stretch. We finally get a break after next Thursday. Michigan's going to be it, and then we'll take a 1-week break. So until that next race Monday,